Hi, I'm Tom. I'm an artist here at GCU, and this will be a basic tutorial on categorization. GCU has over 10,000 categories, and it can be a challenge to identify the ones that you should use to place your cards in. As you know, GCU allows up to 2 categories to be selected to showcase your card. However, any one card can have many possible categories where it can go. For instance, if you have a retro-looking, humorous, but let's say romantic birthday card for a guy, that has a baseball theme and it uses a pet holding balloons, well then there are quite a few categories it can rightfully go in. The problem is selecting the ones that will most likely bring you the most sales and the ones that follow the GCU categorization rules. Now let's think like a shopper who comes to GCU or to one of the affiliated sites like bigdates.com. They have a purpose for their shopping, and so it is clear that we must all make cards with distinct purposes. Don't take a cute image of your cat and apply it all over the place, even though you technically can. This just clutters up your store and GCU's categories with cards that look out of place, and most likely won't sell. So shoppers have 2 choices. They can either use the search box, where they enter a few words to find cards, or they can drill down in the category tree structure, starting from the main categories shown here. The search approach uses your titles and keywords, so if you do a poor job in this area, your card likely will not show up, or it may be so many pages down in the search results, it'll be rarely seen and rarely sold. Using browsing, the shopper can very quickly get down to the specific category that meets their purpose. Each time they click down to the next level, they see more category choices. They refine their shopping efforts as they go. When they get to the lowest level that doesn't overwhelm them with choices, they can sort by default, which is popularity, or by newest. They can also do a search within this category using your titles and keywords, so make sure they are smartly selected. Most shoppers will keep refining their browsing levels until they see something they like. At that point, they will usually initially roll their mouse over the thumbnail to get a quick closer view, or they'll click on it and get the detailed view. It is critically important that shoppers do not leave the site. Studies show that they will leave the site or your store almost immediately if they see cards that don't match the category that they're browsing. Though that is why it is critically important that you choose the exact right categories and that you make well-designed targeted cards. This is also why GCU Card Review Team tries to prevent cards from showing up in categories where they really don't fit very well, if at all. Our cards must clearly speak to the category and occasion. Here's a tip. Most experienced GCU artists choose one specific category to target first, before they even start the design of a new card. They even study the cards in that target category to not only make sure they design a card that clearly meets the purpose of the category, but it's actually as good as the most popular cards selling in that category. Remember, when shoppers come to a category, they initially see the most popular cards. These are the ones that have been selling the best historically. If your card is ever going to rise to this level, it needs to be designed well. Rather than placing some basic text on an image of your cute cat and having a basic inner-verse like happy birthday, study these winning cards, be creative, and make a card that will stand out to draw the shopper's interest. Every click of your card adds to its popularity. If you get a card returned to you by the card review team asking you to change your title, keywords, or has a comment suggesting you choose different categories, be thankful. They are trying to help you sell your cards. They know far more than any of us what works best for sales, and experienced artists are thrilled to make the changes they recommend. Now, before you upload any card, make sure your image is perfect and that you own the rights to it, and that you have no critical content within a 1/4 inch of the edge, which is most likely to be trimmed off when the card is produced. You should also fully prepare your title, keywords, and inner verse ahead of time using a word processor where they can be more completely checked for spelling, grammar, and punctuation problems. By doing this, you will reduce the risk of your card being returned to you for edits, which just wastes your time, the reviewer team's time, and extends all of our card approval times. Currently, Up to 30% of cards are returned to artists for edits because of the origination errors we all make. We can do better than that. Likewise, it is best to select your primary category and your optional secondary category ahead of time. If instead you try to guess at these categories during the create a card process, you run the risk of guessing wrong and having your cards returned to you to resubmit under different categories. It is not the reviewer's team's job to do this for you, and it is the #1 reason cards are returned to us artists to resubmit. So under each of the 7 major GCU card categories, such as birthday, there is a general category. But if you look, there are thousands of cards. Frankly, shoppers won't spend much time shopping in this category, given all the more specific birthday subcategories that GCU offers. So let's look now at some of the rules and some examples using the birthday category. What applies there basically matches the rules that are applied at the other major categories. At the top level, the birthday category currently has 80 subcategories and many more below that. Of the 80, these break down as follows with these 3 primary subcategories: non-English other language, gay lesbian, and adult sexy. If your card uses text in a non-English language, it needs to go only in the subcategories under non-English. Although birthday subcategories for gay, lesbian, adult sexy, relationships, age, and so forth do not exist under each of those non-English languages today, they will be added as GCU grows. Don't select an English category for a non-English card. Similarly, English gay and lesbian birthday cards need to go only in the gay and lesbian subcategories. Although birthday subcategories for adult sexy, relationships, age, and so forth do not exist completely in this subcategory yet, it too is growing, and these subcategories will be expanded as GCU grows. Do not select a non-gay or non-lesbian birthday subcategory for any of your gay or lesbian targeted birthday cards. Next is the adult sexy subcategories. Similar to the ones above, this subcategory is unique and has its own breakdown for age, relationship, humor, and so forth. If your card is adult oriented, place it only in those categories within this subcategory, and don't select any other non-adult subcategories. So now let's look at the other purpose types. These include relationship, age specific, and name specific. Relationship cards must clearly and directly address the person the card is for or the person or group the card is from, usually using text on or in the card. If this isn't clear, the card will be returned to you for edits. Incidentally, the business category also has a birthday subcategory. Cards in the business birthday area are held to a higher standard than general birthday cards, which are essentially less formal. Make sure that if you do plan to place the same for boss birthday card in the regular birthday category, as well as in the business birthday category, that the card is compatible with those in both categories. Just like the rule for prior categories, do not select as your second category choice any of the birthday main subcategories such as balloons or animals. If your mom birthday card has balloons or animals, the shopper will discover these through browsing or through doing a search within that category. Next is age specific. The same rule applies as just discussed with relationships. If it is none of the above, but it is age specific, select the correct age specific category and do not select as your second category any of the other main birthday subcategories. The same applies to name specific. If the above does not apply, but there is a name, place it in the proper name subcategory and do not also select as your second category any of the other main birthday subcategories. Next are those birthday subcategories relating to dates, months, years, or the zodiac. If none of your other factors discussed before apply, select the proper subcategory, but don't select as your second category any of the other main birthday subcategories. Next come the targeted message subcategories, like these included here. Generally the same rules apply. Select one primary category to place your card in that fits well. However, if you've designed a card that can fit in 2 equally well, you can select both. Next comes the lifestyle specific categories, as well as the features and styles type cards. Here there's also more flexibility. Generally, the same rules apply. If none of the other factors discussed earlier work, select the appropriate lifestyle category first and do not select as your second category any of the other birthday subcategories. These cards can, however, be placed in a secondary category under Birthday General if it is general enough of card, such as this one here, under Hobby Specific Cooking due to the use of cupcakes in the image, but also in Birthday General since the cupcakes are a common birthday theme item. If, however, your hobby specific card is pretty specific to a particular hobby, or your sports specific card is pretty particular to a particular sport, it won't be allowed in the general category. Similarly, an occupation specific card is only allowed in the occupation specific subcategory. There are cases where a good lifestyle card is perfect to place in two lifestyle subcategories, and this is okay, but it needs to be a good fit for both. Here is a good example. It is a good lifestyle card in Sports Specific under Ice Skating, as well as in Season Specific under Fall and Autumn. Feature and style cards, like Balloons or Animals, or Humor or Romance, are one level above the general category, and should almost be looked at as general cards with a theme. You can use these along with the lifestyle category, or with the general category, but not with any of the higher up birthday subcategories. You can also select as your second choice another feature or style subcategory, as long as it's a good fit for both. And finally, there are those cards that are so general that really only one subcategory applies, and that's Birthday General. When shoppers come to the Birthday General category, that's what they expect to see. They don't want to see relationship cards, age cards, name cards, or cards with specific messages. Now, of course, there is one special case, and that's photo cards. These are cards where the shopper provides an image to the artist to integrate into the card as a custom card, where the artist places that final card in the private gallery and informs the shopper to return later to buy it. You can make a photo card for any of the above categories, but it must also go into the associated photo card category labeled photo cards, which under birthdays is listed as photo cards. This is necessary because the shopper receives a special alert when this type of card is placed in their cart, prompting them to contact you first before they can purchase it. Keep in mind that there are many categories under collections that you can select as your second category, including photo cards. You don't have to force it into a second birthday subcategory. You can also simply leave it in just the one category you designed it for. I hope this has made categorization more clear to you. If you have any questions on which categories to use, consult the forum before you upload. This will get your cart through the review process more quickly.